Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. Good morning and happy first week of spring.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. This week marked the first week of spring, so we've been traveling around the valley trying to find some signs of spring. We thought a logical way to do that would be to go to a few springs. So we're starting out in Richfield Springs and where else but at our sponsor, Skinner and Demoulas. So be sure to stay tuned.
And it's under my collar, and it shows on my Sunday clothes. Well, I do my best with a soap and the water, but the darn old dirt won't go. Here we go.
Sign up now for a community herb gathering day at Old Path Farms in New Hartford on April 14th. Dig roots, collect nettles, violets, and dandelion leaves, and learn how to process and make tinctures and vinegar. Call 845-1562 to reserve your spot. It's time for the Skinner and Demoulas road trip. This week is the first week of spring, so we're visiting area springs, starting with Richfield Springs, home to our sponsor, Skinner and Demoulas. Richfield Springs is located at the crossroads of Routes 20 and 28. It was named for the springs that were celebrated for their medicinal properties. During the 1800s, Richfield Springs became a resort and spa destination. People came to drink, inhale, and bathe in the famous waters, including Theodore Roosevelt in 1883. Other notables include Cyrus McCormick, who built a summer retreat here on Sunset Hill. Although McCormick's mansion no longer stands, his neighbor Eugene D. Stocker's home remains. This colonial revival home and estate are on the National Register of Historic Places, including McCormick's original stable that still stands. It was purchased just last year by a local couple with big plans for the future.
Well, we've driven by the place many, many times, but we just love the property. And you look from a distance and you just drive up and it's just so awesome. And it's always been our dream to open up a B&B, and we just thought, oh, what a perfect one in this area. You know, we live in the Cooperstown area and there's a lot of tourism in the area, and we thought, oh, perfect. And eventually I'll get my husband to retire. It was built in 1923, and it was by a famed architect, Dwight James Baum. And he designed the house for Stockards, and we have the book that shows the prints and everything and how original things are still here on the property. And so that's really cool to have that. And that the overall land and the property next door all belonged to Cyrus McCormick back in the days, who was the famed inventor of the reaper. Well, we just figure, you know, we've always been people like people, and we've had the land, and it's a big property, so you have to enjoy handling the 12 acres that comes with it, and it's all yard. And we just thought a B&B is how we would like to retire. We figure you have to be busy when you retire. What is it you want to do? And it's something my husband and I both felt we could do well together. We lived in the area for 30 years, and in the village itself, we've already been here for 16 years, and we've been involved in a lot of the community things, you know, the church and the garden club and different organizations, and we just love it. We just call it our own little Norman Rockwell town. We just love Richfield Springs.
To learn more about Sunset Hill Estate as a bed and breakfast or for an event, call 858-3729 or visit sunsethillestate.com. We continue north along Route 167 and take a beautiful drive over Hogsback Road to Kyle Road to the Ortensi Farm. This is home to Gregory and Bernie Ortensi, who raise organic meats as well as offer training, horseback riding, and retirement boarding for horses. They also open their home every year to those who want to live and work on an organic farm.
The farm is certified organic, and we also have certified organic grass-fed beef that we raise and we sell off the farm. We do pastured turkeys that are certified organic strictly for Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday, and we also do pastured chicken certified organic on the farm. So those two are seasonal. We work 7 days a week. That's what a farmer does. We love to be outside. We absolutely love animals, and we love working with people. We do a woofing program on the farm that is seasonal, and so what that is people come and live with us in our farmhouse and they learn about organic farming. And that's a really nice exchange between, them and us.
To shop for organic meat or to learn about living or camping at the Ortensi Farm or about riding lessons and boarding, visit theortensifarm.com or call 858-2634. We say goodbye to Hank, the Great Pyrenees and guardian of the flock, and head back down into the Richfield Springs Valley and back up the south side to Krugerrand Farms. Here we're greeted by another Great Pyrenees who watches over the herd of goats, including this year's new kids, and there's lots of them.
Hundreds of them. We freshened 70 goats who gave us from 1 to 3 kids each. So we lost count actually. Last year we had 18 sets of triplets, so I really don't know how many we did this year. Well, it's more than a personality thing. I think they're really quite efficient ways to make milk and meat. As I understand, 76% of the red meat eaten by human beings worldwide is goat meat. So that says something for it. And the milk has certain features that you don't find in cow milk. They say it's more digestible and probably our closest thing to human breast milk. So it's used for people with special needs and people who would really enjoy the taste. Very few people can tell the difference in taste between my goat milk and good cow milk.
Well, the boys want to dance with the girls from the city, but they don't care to dance with me. Well, it's not my fault if the fields are muddy and the red clay stains my feet. But when I pass through the pearly gates, my gown be gold instead. Or just red clay robes and a red clay wings and a red clay halo for my head.
We hear a great place for lunch or breakfast all day is the Chef's Diner on Main Street. It's hopping today like most days, with locals and those who are just passing through.
I've got people that come from Albany, traveling to Syracuse. I have one lady that comes from Binghamton and stops in for a breakfast sandwich randomly every, in the morning, and yeah.
Today there was somebody from Canada?
Yes.
Somebody from Connecticut.
Yes, which is quite a ways away. I live in Jordanville, which is the next town over, and I've actually worked here about 10 years. I've always waitressed and like being around people, and kind of like my family. I see them every day, sometimes twice a day.
Nothing like a good old-fashioned hometown diner like this one. Came in here today and there were people who were local, of course, and people from as far away as Canada. And one thing that we have in common is the enjoyment of really good home cooking. It's hard to leave room for dessert, but be sure to, because it is homemade, and they give you pieces that are, it looked to me like half a pie, certainly enough to take some home.
I came rolling down the hill, down into the Mohawk Valley. Train pulled into Union Station. One passenger was I who chose to stay. I heard drums along the river and banjos ringing in the heights. Singer-songwriters in downtown knew one picker was I who came to play.
On Route 28, just 1 mile north of Skinner and Demoulas, is Ingalls Maple Products. Maple syrup and dairy farming have been a part of Bill Ingalls' family for more than 100 years. Today, Bill and Ruth Ingalls are retired from dairy farming and now focus on their full line of maple products, including syrup, sugar, cream, popcorn, cotton candy, and granola. Today, as part of Maple Weekend, enjoy a full pancake breakfast with sausage, eggs, applesauce, milk, orange juice, and coffee. And of course, pancakes with Ingalls maple syrup. It's only $6 today from 8 to 3.
Times go, but one thing stays the same. It's the feeling I get when I look around. It lets lets me know I'm home. I'm making this valley my home.
Watch Mohawk Valley Living on Fox WFXV every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 11 o'clock p.m., followed by an encore. And now also available on WUTR every Sunday morning at 11:30 a.m.
Yes, I'm making this valley my home.
Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas. Hit the trails in a new 2012 Jeep Compass Latitude. Lease for just $199 a month for 36 months. $28.99 total due at signing. Just one of the many great deals at Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. No matter what your ride, Turnbull has you covered. Call Turnbull Insurance Service for your Harley or Honda, touring or sport, scooter or ATV insurance. Call 735-9201 and talk to a member of the Turnbull family ready to go the extra mile for you. Call Turnbull Insurance Service, 735-9201.
There are two kinds of people I divide population into, those that have a log home and those that want one. People come to us and with their dreams on paper, maybe it came out of a magazine, look at each customer as a unique individual and build the house that they wanted.
Experience Symphoria when they return to Hamilton College Friday, April 5th. This dynamic group of talented musicians, formerly known as Syracuse Symphony, will perform masterworks by Ravel, Korsakov, and Nielsen. Get your tickets for Symphoria at the Wellenhall Schaumbach Center for Music and Performing Arts at Hamilton College. Spring style begins at the Village Crossing. Discover unique women's attire, jewelry, handbags, and accessories designed to delight. The Village Crossing on the Village Green in Clinton. Celebrate the first sign of spring during Sugaring Off Sundays. See sugaring demonstrations, have a taste of jack wax, enjoy children's activities and the Empire State Carousel. A full pancake breakfast is served from 8:30 to 1 every Sunday in March during Sugaring Off Sundays at the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown. Shop the Little Falls Antique Center and the Shops at 25 West with over 40 local vendors. Visit Wisteria Lane, featuring eco-friendly farmhouse laundry soap. Check out the fashion-forward, recycled vintage clothing at We Wear Vintage. Stock up on the season's jams and jellies at Homespun Memories and explore the ever-changing antiques at the new vendors upstairs. Shop local at the Little Falls Antique Center and the Shops at 25 West at Canal Place in Little Falls.
Country, searching for my soul, looking back on my old used to be, moving along.
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible.
And the trees all whisper hello, my old friend, it's good to have you home.
The Mohawk Valley Center for the Arts in Little Falls presents Local Arts. Although you know a Zuki when you see one, each one is unique and one of a kind. These zany, whimsical creatures are born in nearby Waterville, the brainchildren of Susie Q. What started as a fun idea has become a booming business.
The birth of Zuki's was with my first grandchild, and I was doing a sock monkey baby shower, and I was doing traditional sock monkeys with the Rockford socks. And I decided that I was going to, I ran out of those socks, so I decided to use some. One was eaten by the dryer socks of my daughters, and she had crazy patterns and polka dots and all those sorts of things. So I ended up mixing stripes and polka dots, and that was the birth of Zuki's basically, and the birth of my first grandchild. And then everybody wanted Zuki's. It was, you know, so over the years they evolved. Well, first of all, I usually look at everybody's socks. It's hard in the wintertime because you're all wearing boots, but, and I have crazy socks, see? Well, not crazy, but they're stripes.
Right, of course.
I go, any place I go, I have to look for socks first, but I go to the Gap and to H&M and places like that that have their socks change all the time. Like maybe they have ladybugs on them one time, or they have some cool stripes or polka dots. They even do polka dots and then stripes and then polka dots on the same sock, and it's awesome. So I've had my eye on these socks that I'm waiting for them to go on sale so I can, you know, sell my Zuki affordably. but that's what I do. I just go around, go to TJ Maxx and places like that. I have a friend that will help me sometimes, and she kind of is my other half, so she thinks like I do. And then people think we're crazy, but the Zuki speaks to you. The sock speaks to you. I stuff it. It looks like something to me, and I think, well, you need some green on you, or you're going to be crazy. I don't even know when I have a sock with arms on it and a nose on it, whether it's going to have crazy eyes yet or not. It's just kind of a process that goes along that, I don't know. Well, I can't stop because people keep asking for them. I don't want them to just die, you know.
You got a lot of socks
There'd
to
be
go
no,
through, too.
yes, I do have a lot of socks to go through.
You can adopt a Zuki at the Artisan's Corner in Clinton. And you can learn more about them and adopt them online at zukiq.com.
There was music in the valley. There was music in the air. There was music all around me. There was music everywhere.
No matter what your ride, Turnbull has you covered. Call Turnbull Insurance Service for your Harley or Honda, touring or sport, scooter or ATV insurance. Call 735-9201 and talk to a member of the Turnbull family ready to go the extra mile for you. Call Turnbull Insurance Service, 735-9201.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospital on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley Living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Hello, Mrs. Cole. Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment? And you're only available on weekends. Sure, I have an available appointment with Dr. Karen Sunday at 2 p.m. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
You keep saying you're going to do something about your back and joint pain. Call Dr. Michael Tucherone, one of the area's only K-laser therapy chiropractors, the most advanced non-invasive treatment of acute and chronic pain. Call 853-6225 and embark on your wellness journey today. Oscar's Picture Framing offers hand-finished molding and restoration of antique frames, restoring history for the past 42 years. Oscar's Picture Framing, 12 Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Shop Shelter for one-of-a-kind handmade gifts unlike anything you'll find elsewhere. Jewelry of sterling silver with inlaid stones and fossils. Adirondack frames, mirrors, and rustic furniture. And custom furniture designed by Jim Kiefer. Shelter, Main Street Old Forge. Escape the cold winter days in the tropics at the Pop Butterfly Conservatory. Your winter doldrums will be swept away by free-flying tropical birds, butterflies, plants, and frogs. An unforgettable adventure for all ages. Open all winter long, Thursday through Sunday, noon to 4, on Route 7 in Oneonta. Meelan's Meat Market has your Easter specialties like store-made hams and kielbasa, leg of lamb and roasts, featuring low-salt, low-fat smoked ham and kielbasa. Try their famous crown roast of pork or prime rib. Meelan's Meat Market, your one-stop shop at the Four Corners in Clark Mills. Shop Tom's Natural Foods and feel good with over 150 herbs and spices and a full line of dietary supplements. Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. The village of Richfield Springs was established in 1861, making this year their sesquicentennial. And since our last visit, the bandstand has been restored and there's a new Richfield Springs Museum.
It was settled first by the Indians who found the springs, and they called it the Stinking Waters. That was the name they introduced as Gowangus. Then later on, they branched out, and settlers came after the Revolutionary War, started to build homes and take property from England. A fellow named John Tunnicliffe bought millions and millions of acres around here, and that was parceled out to the new inhabitants. Of course, the farms were the ideal thing because the ground was so fertile. It was good for growing all kinds of things. And as the Indians came in their summertime for a resort area, so did the residents here find that people were coming to enjoy the waters, taking the waters, as they called it, and stayed for the summer. So it grew and grew, more or less like Topsy grew, and people came. We had 7 trains a day coming into town, and they were met by the carriages from the hotels. We had almost 26 lodging places, most of them large hotels, one of which held as many as 500 people. So it was quite a thriving metropolis in its own time.
Here we go again, turning my clock back. I can remember coming down to Canandaigua Lake. Gosh, this was back in the late 1940s or early 1950s, and skating at the skating rink that was right on the edge of the lake. Nothing compares to it. You'd be skating around to this wonderful music, and there was the lake outside. It was just fantastic.
Did you have pom-poms on yours?
I didn't have pom-poms on my skates, but notice one thing about them. The front wheels would move, so you could kind of steer, I guess, with your toes, and the back as well, yeah. You had to be very, very accomplished, or you'd land on your, you-know-what quite often, which I did.
The Richfield Springs Historic Association Museum is located at 134 West Main Street in Richfield Springs. It will be open this Saturday from 10 to 2.
There was music in the valley. There was music in the air. There was music all around me. There was music everywhere. Upstays chilly in the winter, cold and covered up in snow.
We visit the historic Richfield Springs Library on Main Street. It opened 100 years ago in 1911 with money donated by Thomas R. Proctor on land given by Richard Malcolm Montgomery. We meet young library patron Troy. Could we be meeting a future film director?
Out on the rolling hills, we stretch out far and wide. The walls are strong and sturdy through the years it's held up well. Oh, if that old house could talk, the stories it would tell.
We enjoy visiting post offices on our travels, and here in Richfield Springs, there is a mural on the wall that goes back to the WPA times, and it's a beautiful, beautiful painting. And you'll notice that there's a barn up there that's an octagonal barn. Something unique about the barn is the fact that the silo is in the middle of the barn, and it's a baker barn named after Norman Baker, who was very well known in the area.
The Baker Octagon Barn is located south of the village on Route 28. It was built in 1882 and is on the National Register of Historic Places. In the rolling hills west of the village, we visit Krugerrand Farm, owned by James Andela and his daughter Lisa Miedema. They have a passion for goats and the idea of developing a sustainable farming model, processing goat milk into aged cheese for the Artisan cheese market.
This is basically a 4-H project that got out of hand. We started out with 2 little girls and 2 goats, and by the time they went to college we had 25, and now we've got over 70 head on the farm. Lisa and I discussed how we were going to maximize profits from the herd. And after discussing being a purely dairy operation, we decided to go for value-added products. We decided we'd have to make cheese. So we make a Dutch-style cheese. Well, goat cheese is different from cow milk cheese because the milk is different in chemical composition. Goat milk is naturally homogenized, and the acid profile is quite different. So you end up with sharper, drier cheeses in goat milk than you would normally with cow milk. More robust flavors, because in a lot of cases cow milk cheese presents the fat to your tongue much more easily, and that masks the true flavor of the cheese. That's why a lot of cow milk cheeses are actually made from skim milk.
Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas. Hit the trails in a new 2012 Jeep Compass Latitude. Lease for just $199 a month for 36 months. $28.99 total due at signing. Just one of the many great deals at Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. Tour the exhibits at the Oneida Community Mansion House. On display, the beautiful braidings of Jessie Catherine Kinsley and the exhibit Wartime at Oneida Limited. And visit the new museum store, open daily year-round on Kenwood Avenue in Oneida. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com. Savor homemade soups, sandwiches, quiches, and salads at the dessert booth in Clinton. And check out their fresh new look, serving lunch Tuesday through Saturday and dinner Friday nights. See their menu on Facebook and save room for dessert. The Artisan's Corner in Clinton features art from the heart of Central New York. Handcrafted, one-of-a-kind, affordable artwork and gifts. Think spring and check out the Easter cards, clothing, candy, and jewelry at the Artisan's Corner, open every day in Clinton. Allie Lynn's Home and Accessories for distinctive gifts. For spring color. For the bride. For the wine. Allie Lynn's Home and Accessories, West Park Row in Clinton. Expecting the guys for football? Don't fret, just call Deansboro Superette. They've got delicious Middle Eastern platters and their famous 4-foot Mega Monster sub. Call 841-4377. If you're in a collision, you need precision. Call your insurance company first and then choose Precision Unlimited, providing expert auto body collision repair since 1987 on Route 5 in Clinton. Feel the need for beads? Fall Hill Bead and Gem is a kaleidoscope of glass, crystal, stone, and wood beads, minerals, gems, and Herkimer diamonds. Design personal jewelry for your friends and family on West Main Street in Little Falls, across from Paca Gardens.
I can't stand it when you're not around. I don't know quite what to do with myself. So if you have to leave me to...
We hope that you enjoyed today's show. And even though this was the first week of spring, we hit quite a bit of snow, but a sure sign of spring around here are baby goats. Next week, we hope to find more signs of spring. Between now and then, though, enjoy Mohawk Valley living.
Honey, honey,